video is really talking about the strategic communications one, and then we have some other ones that will then talk about the other ones as well. So if you are anyone with interest or responsibility for internal or external communication, or even making an organization work, whether it's a business, whether it's whatever it is, if you are the one in charge of making sure that things happen the way they're supposed to be, then you need the way they are supposed to, then you need to attend this course or send someone in your team to attend this course. Because what we're going to focus on is how you can be intentional about achieving your agenda by making sure that everybody that needs to be engaged proactively is kept in the loop through communication. There's only one way that it happens. I mean, we see it. I mean, even in politics and everything that we see happening in the world today, whether it is war, whether it is conflict, at the end of the day, miscommunication aggravates the situation. Communication and dialogue, engagement, effective engagement, listening, responding, watching your tone, your language, all those things makes the difference between how bad it becomes and how contained you're able to get it. So that is all what we're going to be sharing here. I'm going to be exposing you to universal tools and principles of communication, practical tips on how to develop and implement a communication strategy. And yes, I had talked, just to go back to my bio a bit, I had worked in an energy firm for about 22 years. I started my firm in January 2020, Shola Abulu and Associates. We work with firms in all sectors, and we help them to fulfill their objectives through strategic communications. Our areas of expertise: organizational effectiveness, stakeholder management, stakeholder communications, brand, reputation, and crisis management. We've done a lot of work in the energy sector because my history is there, so I have a lot of pull from that side. But we've also worked with clients in the information, in IT solutions space, in education, and in the health sector, primarily in Nigeria. But some of our clients are active. In fact, a number of our clients are active across the continent, and we've worked with a client that is active outside the continent in the Middle East as well. So we have the training arm of our business, which is the one that handles this training, and we have the consulting arm. So the richness of our training is that it is rooted in practical application. So when you take a training with Shola Abulu and Associates, you're not dealing with people who are talking academics. We have the principles because, yes, I have a solid foundation and I have been trained in everything that we've been talking about, which is why it was important for us to get our courses independently and internationally accredited, so that it's clear that we're not, so that the pedigree of what you're getting, is clear, not just to you who is receiving the training, but to your, leaders who are invested in your development, and they can also know that you're actually making the efforts to develop yourself according to what you need. So when you attend our trainings, you're not just going to get, you're going to get principles, and then you're going to get practical tips, and then we will look through case studies and make it real for you. And we would also ask that you bring your own questions into the room. I mean, it's going to be interactive. These sessions, we can run them as this kind of cohorts that we're planning on November 30. We can also plan it as bespoke sessions for teams, for groups of people. So if you have that kind of need, let us know as well. We can organize. In fact, we'll be glad to organize a bespoke session for you. I personally like the bespoke sessions, which is why we sort of delayed in doing this, because then we can tailor it to your needs. We can have engagements before time. When you bring a diverse cohort together, it's also helpful because people can then learn from people at different levels, different sectors, and things like that. But it may not be as targeted. But what we've done with our trainings as much as possible is that we make sure we get as much feedback upfront from our participants, tailor the trainings to the needs of those who are in the room, where we see that they are in their organizations and what they need to know. And then we also offer a 3-month coaching period of 4 hours of individual and group coaching, depending on what the preference of the group is, where we can then, work with you one-on-one. And and that would be me working with you. You can bring anything you want into the conversation. So there will be a link attached to this video, wherever it is you're seeing the caption of this video, wherever it is whatever platform it is you're watching this from, and then you can get those details to register interest and sign up. So if you can make the November 30, 2023 launch or session, first run, inaugural cohort, I would recommend that you do that. Our calendar for 2024 isn't clear yet, but we're in the process of getting interest and getting a sense of what participation would be like. Once we're sure, we will release our 2024 proposed calendar. But for now, we're forging on with the 30th of November, and we hope you'll be able to join us. And if you know someone or anyone that you think would be interested in this, please let them know. Participation in this course will provide you with the knowledge to solve your business and organizational problems through communication. In a practical sense, whether you are working in a for-profit organization, a non-profit organization, whether you're an HR manager, whether you are a communications practitioner, a professional, a business leader, even if you're a legal practitioner and you handle cases that are in the media, I would recommend that you come. We have 5 courses, like I said. This is the foundation one. This one sets the tone. Before we now specialize into other areas, well, the PR one is also a foundational course on the public relations side. But those 2, I would say, are the foundational. By the time we then go to the next of our courses, which is crisis management, brand and marketing, and then the policy, public sector, political communications, that one is very specialized, very different audience there. But then we will be drawing on the principles and the foundations that we've laid in this course. So if you're someone who because I see a lot of people transitioning into comms, people moving from HR, finance, different types of sectors, and you're not getting the grounding. First of all, it's very difficult to get corporate communications courses. That is one of my motivations for really going into these courses. I found out that it's not easy to get the kind of training that provides the principles and the practices of communications to a global standard with local application. That has been my observation. It's either it's very global, it's not relevant to us in Africa, or it's too local to the point that it's not able to draw from the global learnings to be able to do things that enable you to understand how social media works. Because really, for social media, it's a science. So the global practice, if you try to work social media the way you work traditional media, you're going to fail. And that's what a lot of we're seeing the public sector, the mistake that a lot of our political and public office holders are making, because they think that the tactics that they use effectively in traditional media based on relationship will work in social media. It doesn't always. Depends on the crisis. It depends on the activists, the influence, the influence and the interest and the nature of whatever issue that is playing out there. So please join us on the 30th of November. Register interest in the caption below, and let's take it from there. So see you in my next video, and thank you for being here.